Now, I know some of y'all out there saying, now what is she flapping her gums about today? Question, how many of y'all out there have scars? And I know some of y'all probably saying, oh yes, God, I got a scar on my arm. I got a scar on my leg, my back. No, I'm not talking about your physical scars. I'm speaking of your mental and emotional scars. So let me rephrase that question. How many of y'all out there have emotional and psychological scars? Well, today we're speaking about the realization that we have emotional scars and how we can respond and refine our scars. The message we're embracing and expressing is you are not your scar. If you're new to this channel, my name is Aisha and welcome to the Bracorriah X Beauty YouTube channel, where we are a cosmetic company that provides quality cosmetic products, give information on starting and running a business, and we also here to provide good old-fashioned empowerment to anybody who's in need. Before I get started, I have to take a moment to thank each and every one of you who watched, liked, shared, and subscribed to our last few videos. Your support is truly appreciated, and please keep tuning in each and every Friday for a new video. Now, back to these scars. When we talk about scars, most people commonly think about our physical scars that are ultimately remnants of a past skin injury and trauma. But what about those emotional traumas that leave psychological scars? I know I got me a few that occasionally will try to split my wig. But honey, I tell you, that got to be ultra strength is real, and it's occasionally a girl's best friend. So what about those traumatic life events that still haunt and affect us to this day? You know, those are the moments that continue to interfere with your life and your thoughts and eventually your well-being. They definitely can also interfere with your growth and your self-worth. They can have you feeling worthless, like you don't deserve greatness, and like you can't ever achieve greatness. And I'm here to tell you, that cannot be your story. So how do you respond to emotional scars? Well, you can't respond to them until you realize that you're emotionally scarred. And once you realize that you're emotionally or psychologically scarred, you then can begin the process of elimination and of figuring out why you're scarred. What has caused these scars, or what is causing these scars? And I say what is causing these scars because the cause of your scars can also be due to a concurrent, ongoing situation or trauma. The other thing that's important to remember is know your triggers. Know what sets you off. And yes, y'all, you gotta know what makes you feel froggy. By any means necessary, try to separate yourself and avoid these triggers. You gotta realize that those are the instances that set you off and make you feel some kind of way. And if those feelings are negative in any way, stay away. Pay attention to the people and the things that you let into your circle. Everything and everybody is not meant to be let into your circle. That's just like they say, bad association spoils useful habits. And letting people into your circle can infiltrate the good that you have going on. And you know, everybody's grandma grew up saying, misery loves company. Don't be that company. When misery come knocking, just tell her, Trick, I'm busy. I ain't got time. No, I ain't got time today nor tomorrow. Know your worth and be careful where you seek validation. Many times we find ourselves in a discouraged state because we seek validation in all the wrong places and from all the wrong people. And doing that will always continue to give you all the wrong vibrations. If that person brings no value to you or your life in any way, how in the world are they able to manipulate your mindset and interpersonally devalue your inner being? Once you know your worth, your standards in every realm will rise, from your association to your work, and even the man or woman you choose to date. Heck, instead of going to the unemployment office to find a mate, you may find that you done leveled up and you now go to the Red Lobster or the CEO convention to find a mate. And yes, honey, I give you permission to level up and stop going to the swap meet to pick up a man. The other thing to remember is as long as it took to develop those psychological scars, it may take just as long or even longer to heal those wounds. It is not an overnight process. And it's just like weight loss. The faster you lose, the quicker you gain that weight back. But if you slowly lose that weight, it stays off longer and is sustainable. Recovery is the same concept. Nothing heals overnight. And sometimes we may never fully heal. And if that's the case, you just want to recover enough to where those scars no longer affect you or your well-being. And you know what? Sadly, your scarring not only affects you, but it can also affect your family, your children, and really every aspect of your life from personal to work. And as you move through this process, remember, consistency and patience is key. Although you may fall off the wagon, remember, you can prioritize yourself first and get back up at any time. And most importantly, turn to God. Just as we need nutritional food to sustain, we should view spiritual food as equally important. And as my husband often reminds me, you can't receive it if you don't believe. And if you don't believe you can overcome those emotional scars, you won't ever receive the blessing of logical freedom. And remember, you are not your scar. We all have our fair share of life choices that remain visible through residual scars. But here at Bracorriah X Beauty, our message that we're sharing is scars are reminders of a historical event and what we've overcome. But they don't define the person you are and your greatest potential. Despite physical and emotional scars, you can allow them to hinder you. Instead, allow them to make you stronger. Allow them to be your motivation and to remind you of what you've overcome and won't look back at. Like my parents always said, "Little baby, you better figure out how to take a licking and keep on ticking." And that's just what we doing. Now, if you got through this whole video, I'm going to need you to remember school is never out. And scars and all, you are worth more than you can ever know. You are not your scar. And your scar don't define you or your greatest potential. Refine, don't define. Thank you for watching, and remember, be easy, be beautiful, be blessed, and be you.